Ladies and gentlemen, joining us is a guy who is an absolute legend in the football world. All of his peers believe he should be in the Hall of Fame. That's because when he was on the field, he was impossible to tackle and an absolute dog. Now he's one of the hosts of the Pivot Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, Fred Taylor.
You guys are crazy, man. AJ, listen, bro, I wanted to knuckle up against you, but we never crossed paths. But I wanted to give you the business, bro.
How come?
I wanted to see what you was made of.
Oh, I like
Fred,
that.
the problem with you, Fred, is you're obviously a stout, powerful dude that runs super hard, but I can't take you low because your legs are too damn big, too. So that's why I'm glad I never faced you, Fred. It would not have been fun. It would not have been fun. I need to help my buddies.
You know what? No, it's just my way of saying good career. I got to watch my language. We're not on YouTube anymore.
No,
I got to watch my language.
We are.
You know what I'm saying?
We are, and we always will be. Yeah. Now, granted, if you let that fly here in a little bit, a date to be announced when we go on ESPN, it might get muted, might slip through, but you can certainly let any fuck fly that you would like on this particular day. We want you to be as comfortable as ever because we're all big fans of yours, and I do appreciate you telling that face on the other side of the screen, like I wish we would have had a chance to potentially cause CTE to each other. Like I really like that, and I think that's why everybody respects and appreciates you as a football player. Let's just dive right into it right now. Everything we just chatted about there, you were like known as just hard-nosed guy, huh? Running hard, hard-nosed, put an entire city on your back potentially at the running back position. It's obviously not like that in a lot of places anymore. I think in Tennessee with Derrick Henry, it's like that. That is their identity. We're going to beat you up. I think Christian McCaffrey out in San Francisco, pretty pivotal part of their identity and their offense. He just got traded out there last year. But everywhere else, it's not really like what it was like back in the day. And that's potentially why the running back position is in the situation that it's in right now. What are your thoughts on it all? And have you reached out to anybody to ask how they feel about it as well?
You know, I want to add one guy who I think we all can consider might be the best back in the NFL right now, Nick Chubb. He's been healthy. Okay. He's been kicking ass. And, you know, with the addition of Deshaun Watson, who should also, increase their run game output, I think prior to that, he's just been a consummate pro. He doesn't say much. He just gets the job done. And you would expect teams would look at what he's done, look at his value, and say, we have to pay this guy. So there are not many guys like that left. But when you talk about a guy who can carry a load, put his team on his shoulder, you got to talk about Nick Chubb. The running back thing, it's a mess right now, and it's going to be that way until the next CBA comes about, I believe. It has to be done in black and white. There's not a whole lot they can do right now. Obviously, the teams have all of the leverage. And I think what it comes down to is really what they think about you as a character person, as a talent on the field. What you do in the local community. I think all those things can contribute to you potentially getting the payday you deserve. Because if that doesn't apply, then what they're going to say is, you can be hurt next. Because I think the process is, I get a guy early in the first round, we give him guaranteed money at 22. We get him, we do we exercise his fifth year. Now he's 27, 28, tag him for a year. And then after that, he's 30, which is when they try and say that's your decline. But a lot of these guys are amazing. They block, they catch, and they run their asses off. And I think deservingly so, they should be compensated accordingly. But, the league plays these games and they kind of pick and choose. There's always younger guys hungry and ready to go. In the run game, they believe they can put anybody back there. So it's just a messed up position to be in. But I think all of those guys that are extremely talented, they're definitely worth, their certain packages.
Yeah, it's a weird time for the running back position for sure. Dalvin Cook's still out there. I'll be excited to see what he gets. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
His contract.
The longer it takes, though, the longer he's out there, the more leverage you're putting back on these teams. So I think Dalvin, or at least if I was his agent, I would say, look, we got to be in camp somewhere here, pretty soon. Otherwise, the ball is going to kick off. It's going to be the regular season. They're going to fill their rosters, and then you're not going to have that room to negotiate, especially if you have these young, hungry guys that have been waiting on their opportunities to get out there. with a pretty good offensive line or whatever it might be. These guys get out there and they're averaging, 4 yards a carry. Teams believe they can get it done at that rate. So I think you get in camp right now. And, whatever comes from that moment, you take advantage of it.
I haven't even thought about that particular aspect of it. Like, you don't get into camp. You're just assuming that some team is going to need a running back. But there's also a chance on the flip side that some of these other running backs that are worth $300,000 or $400,000 at veteran min, if they can pop off 3.5, 4 yards for the offensive system that you need, it's like, why are we going to go sign a vet who has mileage on him? And I haven't even thought about that. I hope Dalvin Cook signs with the Colts tomorrow. But whatever number he gets is going to be talked about everywhere, because like you think about Yannick Ngakoue, what did he just sign for?
10 million.
10-5, and then there was some other free agent at a position that wasn't running back that just signed, or Judon just got like 16.
Yeah, Judon got 16, then Cole Kmet got a $50 million extension.
So like there's deals happening for other positions that are worth money. Wide receiver, I mean, Odell Beckham Jr. gets 13.5, and then Nuke gets like 32 million or something like that over 2 years or something. So like there is money being put out in different places. So Dalvin Cook's contract is going to be talked about a lot, whatever it is. I just went with the Colts, and I like your also game shape, right? Like I know he's in incredible shape. He's from Miami. Miami guys are always in shape. I mean, that's just kind of what they're known for. They work their asses off. But like just getting dropped in there, so he knows his body better than I do. I think wanting to get into a system and get comfortable would be something you want to do. Come to the Colts, bro. Anyways, AJ has a question for you, Fred.
Fred, you mentioned that with the running backs, things might not happen until the next CBA. What could they put in that CBA, you think, to help these running backs out? Like you have to spend a certain amount per position or things like that?
I think it all comes down to the franchise clause. At the end of the day, it should be what it says. If you're the franchise player, pay me accordingly. And if you don't, I mean, when I say that is, if I'm the franchise player, how about putting me in the category of the high
Fred, we have to stop. We have to stop. This is a great answer. And we will definitely dive back into this. What the fuck did you just drink? Something came out of your mouth. Did you just loogie into a cup right there?
You know what? I'm drinking my mushroom coffee. And I had a little kickback because when I was rushing to hurry up so I wouldn't be late. And some of the opening from the container got in the cup. So it's just a little piece, man.
Okay, are you okay?
I didn't lose you. Come on, brother. I am solid.
Okay.
I got my mushroom coffee. I'm good to go, man. I'm good.
Pat was worried.
I was worried, bro. Something came out. You know what I mean? Like you're sitting there, something. I'm like, is everything okay?
This is exactly why I love you guys, man. I love this show, bro. Every time I'm invited on, I just sit back and think, man, you guys are so fucking cool and awesome. And, you're leading the way, bro. Keep doing what you're doing because we look at you guys as the blueprint and we like to be somewhere close to where you guys are at some point. But I know it's the grind. You put in work. Just going to salute you. But I love this show, man.
Well,
y'all just fucking don't care. You care, but you don't care. I love it.
Had to know about that. Had to find out what was happening if you're okay. Thank you for the kind words. You guys are obviously crushing it at the Pivot. We are big fans of your work. Obviously.
Appreciate it.
The booking you guys have been doing lately, hey, come on. Not easy. That shit's not easy. You're traveling, too, doing it all. You guys are crushing it. We appreciate the love very much and keep going. Happy you're okay. Yeah, I thought, you know what I mean?
Never know.
I'm like, hey, listen, man, if you got stuff going on, you don't
I'm solid.
Get out of here.
Mushroom coffee.
I'm good.
Hey, that's good mushrooms we're taking right now?
No psychedelics. It's no psychedelics. It's just the good mushrooms. They all have different benefits. So this is the good stuff. This is actually my company. This is a new space that we're active in. So it has a lot of benefits. That has helped me. So hopefully it'll help everybody else that gives it a shot.
How do I buy it?
Online. We're not live yet. We're still building.
Beta.
The samples are in. We're getting a tasting done. So when we go live, I'll definitely make sure you guys get a package.
Yeah, I love mushrooms, all of them. And if you're going to make psychedelic ones too, send those. Send those all right. But anyway,
when they legalize it, I think we have the perfect name, the Mushroom Coffee Company. We'll be right in line. So when they legalize psychedelics, it'll just kind of carry over, and we'll be able to insert the psychedelics into the coffee win-win across the board.
Yeah, so I'll tell you what, that'll be a lot better than those peanut butter pieces of bread with, shit mushrooms on it, or pizza. They put it on pizza, it tastes good. It's like, well, it doesn't taste like pizza anymore. What's it taste like? Well, it tastes like cow shit. That's because that is where this comes from. But the next 6 hours are about to be a great time. Anyways, AJ, back to your question. I apologize. We just learned Fred Taylor's okay, and business is booming.
Yeah, let's go.
Business is booming. Happy for you, Fred. Go ahead, AJ. Run that back.
I mean, I don't even remember exactly what we were talking about. Some with the CBA, I guess, and the running backs, what they could do and put in place for the next CBA.
Correct. Yeah, no, I think just honoring the franchise tag for what it is. If you're going to franchise me, how about pay me like a franchise player, if that's what you think of me? And I think that would either be matching the highest salary on the team on an annual perspective, or if that's not the case, let's use the franchise tag. If you're going to still pay me from a position perspective, how about pay me as the top guy at that position? So, for example, as a running back, Christian McCaffrey is averaging $16 million per year. If you're going to franchise tag me at the $16 million per year number, and then if you're going to tag me again in year 2, if I outplay this number, then let's include an escalator. I think those franchise tags, if nothing else, should come with escalator clauses, because if you can tag me 3 times,
two now.
I should, 2 times. I apologize. It should be some sort of kicker clause in there, or clause that escalate. Because the downside is long term. I lose out on the long term, and that's what you're betting on. You're betting on that I do not play for an extended period of time. And again, for running backs at the 30-year-old mark, they think you're going to decline, but running backs have shown that they can also ascend after 30 years of age. A lot of guys have done it. The numbers are small, but guys are capable.
Have you been franchise tagged before?
Never. I always, and the reason because, Pat, is I had X amount of injuries in my career. So for me, it was a bird in the hand is better than 2 in the bush.
Oh, I like that.
And I always wanted to get out there and grind and show people that I was worthy. It's just timing in my career on a lot of instances, from injuries, a lot of other things. I was just never in position to go out there and have a valid argument and show them this is what I'm worth. So I took whatever I was able to grab to go and take care of my family.
This is in 420p, the quality of the video is a little lower than it is today. But you had jets, power, and a team that loved running the football. Okay. What a perfect match made in heaven down there.
That run right there, man. I love that run against Tampa, man.
Okay.
That run, I told Warren Sapp I was going to bust their ass my rookie year. Pause. And he was like, don't write a check your ass can't cash. He tackled me on the first 2 plays of the game. I lost like -8. But this was the game-winning run, 71-yarder. Shout out Tony Baselli, big 71, for a game-winning touchdown. And we got the last laugh.
You're way too late.
This one here is still, yeah. That was fun, man. Look at that.
Pulling away from corners.
That's still a playoff record right there. That's still an NFL playoff record right there. 90 yards against the fence.
Last question for me before Pax. How heavy are you right there?
Oh, right there in this run right here?
Yeah.
I was 228 right there.
That guy's 165 pounds, 170 pounds chasing a 220. You would have done really well in this generation, huh?
Man, I think I would have blessed these guys.
What a line. Pac-Man has a question for you, Fred.
Speaking of that.
That's my brother. What's up, bro?
What's up, brother? Speaking of that, looking at the film, 11,695 yards.
Is that good?
66 touchdowns. What is it going to take for you to put on the gold jacket? What is taking so long?
You know what, man? I always say God's timing is the best. I have absolutely zero control of what the selectors think. I'm really trying to get in that final room, the room with the finalists, and I think they'll do a deeper dive and kind of sort out, where my career stands up against the greatest that have ever done it. I retired 15th all time in the history of the game. I don't know how many backs, attempted to, meet that mark, but I retired 15th all time. I think I'm 9th all time in 100-yard games.
Is that good?
Put out there.
What?
Well, the people, they got to decide. But, Pat, at the end of the day, man, God's timing is the best, bro, and it's out of my hands.
You think
I
about
can
it?
make
You think
certain
about it?
arguments. I do. I wish I had thought about it more when I was an active player.
Do you
I
think you
think I would
deserve
approach
it,
the
though?
game a little bit differently.
Do you think you deserve it?
I think when you look at the numbers, yes. When you put them up against the greatest guys that have played, even some of the guys that are already in, and then they throw out era, this, that, the other, I get it. But if you look at this era, I don't think you'll see many more 10,000-yard rushers. I was the 21st 10,000-yard rusher of all time. But, but that's the argument. We don't know what the criterias are. No one knows.
Wow.
If you look at the receivers, for example, I think Megatron, Calvin Johnson, who was an absolute dog. He influenced the game on so many levels. He's 31st all time in receiving yardage. There are a lot of other guys in front of him. Do those guys have a valid argument, or does the fact that he stood out?
Hey, Fred, can't get into this where like logic and reason.
It's a lot.
Can't do logic and reason.
Saying.
Can't do logic and reason.
But that's what I'm trying to say. What are the criteria? What's the logic? What's the reason? Is it name? Is it Hall of Game? Hall of Fame? Hall of Popularity? Like, what exactly is it? And I'm not crying, but I played in a small market. I didn't get all of the Pro Bowls. The timing didn't allow that. Some years I rushed some of the guys that were in the Pro Bowl. I didn't get the nod.
Fred,
give or take. So it's a lot of stuff.
Hey, you just need to know though, like everybody that's ever played against you or with you says you should deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. That's why, like,
that's all that matters.
Yeah, bingo. That's what I'm saying. Like,
absolutely,
because like all that stuff in Pro Bowls, you just talked about playing in a small market. Like at the end of the day, that's kind of a popularity contest too at a lot of different positions, and we hold it in such high regards. People do. And there was a couple times where I was like, "Yep, I'm certainly going to be a Pro Bowler this year," and didn't make it. And then I get a little jaded, probably towards the whole process, or an award in college that certainly should have won, don't win, or something else like that. And I've been jaded towards the whole, and AJ never went to a Pro Bowl, I don't think. All-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, obviously in the same division as Urlacher. And
is crazy.
That's a crazy thing to think about. So I think AJ and I have a very similar view on it. You need not think about that, Fred. You're a dog in everybody's eyes.
Hell yeah.
They'd be lucky to let you into their Hall of Fame so we could relive your career for a weekend in Canton. We just want to let you know, honestly.
I appreciate those words, man. No, I appreciate that. I appreciate those sentiments. If it happens, it happens. And whether I'm here or not, hopefully, if it does happen, my family can enjoy it if I'm not here. But prayerfully, if it does happen, I hope I'm here, able to celebrate and give back to everybody so we can really party, and get it in.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
It's out of my control, but in the meantime, I'm going to pivot and continue to grind and do my thing and support you guys in the process and everything else.
So let's talk about the pivot, and we appreciate the hell out of you, and that's the perfect mindset. We believe you deserve to be in there. Ty has a question for you.
Yeah, Fred, speaking of the pivot, granted, like I remember watching you play, but I was young, by the time you were done, but it seemed like you were a soft-spoken guy and just a killer on the field, but I don't really remember going back and seeing many clips of you giving big sound bites or interviews or anything like that. Was getting into the media post-career, was that ever something you considered, or did you kind of just fall into everything with I Am Athlete and then the pivot?
No, I didn't consider it at all, man. The head of PR, the senior PR guy in Jacksonville, Dan Edwards, who's retired now. After I retired, so around 2011-12, he gave me a shout. He's like, look, we're not winning a lot of games. We're trying to keep the fans intact. We're going to try something different. How about you give us a shot with post-game radio and in-stadium game day analysis? I was like, nah, I'm good. And he was like, nah, I don't want you to tell me no. So I'll give you 2 weeks to think about it. After 2 weeks, he gave me a shout. He goes, I know I said I was going to give you 2 weeks to think about it, but I'm not going to let you say no. So he's always believed in me. He was the person that, told me exactly. He didn't tell me what to say to the media during my playing days, but he encouraged me to just be myself. He gave me that confidence to just go out there and speak and not worry about necessarily what came out of my mouth, but just to be honest with the reporters. So he believed in me. So I was like, all right, Dan, I trust you. I gave it a shot. I did in-stadium analysis for the team. I've been doing that since 2012, post-game radio 2012. So that gave me the experience. So when Brandon Marshall came over during the pandemic and asked if we would like to do a podcast during the pandemic. I was like, sure. I just want to get out of the house. I'm bored as hell
Stay
at
6
home.
feet away
Let's
from
do
everybody.
it.
Yeah. Stay 6 feet.
Right.
Yeah.
And then we ended up, we started there, What I Am Athlete. Obviously, you guys know the history of that. It didn't necessarily pan out due to certain business discrepancies and conflicts. And from there, we had to pivot. And we started the Pivot, which I think was an amazing name based on that whole period.
Very
pandemic.
clever.
We had to pivot from the pandemic. We had to pivot from business discrepancies. So we got in and we talked to Ryan Clark, who's a dog at, journalism and everything he does. He said, yeah, let's do it. Channing, you guys know what Channing brings to the table. And we created this brand, this platform, which I think has been absolutely phenomenal for ourselves and giving back to the people, the culture. It's been very therapeutic for us as well as people that approach us with the feedback. So we just want to keep going, man, keep building until we can't go no more.
Hey, everybody can podcast.
But everybody can't pivot.
Damn right, bro.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we've been watching, bro. We really enjoy what you guys do. I enjoy
My guy.
I enjoy anybody that works their asses off. And you guys are certainly doing that because I think a lot of ex-players in the past maybe were able to not really do much and benefit grossly from it. Yeah. Now in this new era, I'm much more obviously. I was a punter, so people know that 3 to 4 hours a day while meetings were happening, I was getting better at cornhole in that locker, and I became a fucking sniper.
That's right.
You know what I mean? I did. But now I'm, I don't know, probably 400x busy than I was whenever I was in the NFL. But it's gratifying, fulfilling, and the opportunity is there. So watching you guys take advantage of that and thrive has been fun for all of us. So you guys need to keep fucking going, all right? Listen, let's not...
We will, man. We definitely will. It's a grind.
Okay.
It's a grind.
All right, let's talk about you and the Jacksonville Jaguars, though, for a while. Seemingly good football team, huh? We're here. We made it. We're at a time where there's expectations. We're at a time where they're going to fill up the stadium every single week. There's no more clowns out in the stands beating the Indianapolis Colts, knocking the Colts out of the playoffs, sending Carson Wentz over to Washington. We're in good times right now, right? In Jacksonville, is that what it feels like? And how good can Trevor
It feels that way. It definitely feels that way. And thankfully, we were able to get a coach that's a former player, former quarterback, that can really just communicate with, our franchise quarterback and Trevor Lawrence. Trevor's amazing. He's an amazing person, just an amazing character. He's an amazing player. He's always won on every level, and to be able to, this is who Trevor Lawrence is. Go back to that San Diego game. 4 interceptions, didn't flinch. He kept on slinging it. He kept slinging it. Came back, they fought back, they won the game. They went up to fight a beast in Kansas City on their field in the divisional round. And, it fell short, but he kept slinging. He kept coming back. That's what you want from your quarterback.
Answers.
No one who's going to – you want a person who is not going to back down. You want a leader. That's exactly who he is. And I think, they have a perfect, relationship with he and Doug, the guys that are around him, from Zay, from Christian Kirk, now with the addition of Calvin Ridley, Evan Ingram there, those guys. So they got the weapons on offense, Travis Etienne. So they got the 5-pack. Those guys can get it done. From a defensive side, you got Josh Allen, who's the leader of that defense. The secondary's been great. Tyson Campbell, all those guys. So you would think the Jaguars are in position to take that leap in the AFC South.
You
guys you guys are regrouping in Indy. We know you don't want us to beat the Colts. We know this, Pat.
It's Colts division.
It's all good.
We got a 6'5", 250-pound guy running a 4.3. Sorry.
I'm biased. He's a Gator. I love him to death.
Yeah, dude.
Trust me. You already know how I feel about Anthony Richardson.
Yeah, we're all doing
but when we knuckle up 2 games a year, I can't root for him though. I can root for him's success, but I just want to win. He can have 500 yards passing, Jaguars win. I'm good. I don't care. I do not care.
If he has
and the same thing with the Houston.
Hey, me
Texans.
too, by the way. If he has 500 yards passing and we lose next year, I'm happy. Hell yeah, dude.
CJ Stroud, the same thing. I love him. I pray that he does great in the pros. He's in the AFC South. Same thing. 300, 400, 500 passing in a loss to the Jaguars. I don't care. As long as we win. We just want wins so we can get in the playoffs and do our thing.
Hell yeah. I'm happy for the Jaguars fans, man. Honestly. Very, very happy for it. And Jags always gave Colts problems. Like, I guess there was a while there where they didn't, I think. But then it became a real Jaguars would beat the Colts basically every single year in at least one of the games.
Just run the ball. Just run the ball. Maurice, myself, just run the ball on them. That was the formula. But, you try to slow down Peyton, who's an absolute dog. And I never really understood Peyton. We beat him 4 times in college at Florida, then to get in the NFL, and he just goes crazy. It's like he just goes absolute nuts. But obviously a legend Hall of Famer. He found a way to win, brought the rings back to Indy. I don't know. Jaguars just always got up for the best, the best in the division to try to give you guys fit. And we did. We just didn't win the big ones when it really mattered. So hopefully they can change that.
Anthony Richardson, I think he said this. I don't know if it was on the record or off the record, and I don't think I heard it. Somebody else did that I was talking to. I can remember. He said, we ain't never losing to the fucking Jaguars.
Nice.
That's what Anthony Richardson said.
Good mindset.
He never said that. Come on, Pat. He never said that. Show me where that comes from.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. I don't remember.
Rookie watch,
second, third hand.
I don't remember who said it. Somebody. Yeah, I don't remember who.
It made its way back to you.
Yeah, it made its way.
It got to be the vapes. Yeah, I got vapes off the set or something. It got to be the vapes.
Well, yeah, actually, actual flower, not, but that's CBD only. We're in Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. We're in
CBD only?
Yeah, CBD only. Yeah, none of those psychedelic mushrooms you're chugging this morning either, even though you're saying you're not. I understand what you're saying. AJ.
Pat got the pack, though.
Yeah.
You smell me?
Yeah, he does. He certainly does. But the ones he brings here, only CBD.
That's right.
Only CBD.
Yeah. I love it.
We don't need Pat driving from Ohio to Indiana in a Rolls Royce.
Definitely don't need
with a bunch of pack got the pack in his car. That's like a 10 to 15 year sentence.
That's not good.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah,
no, sir.
CBD only. CBD only.
CBD only.
That's right. AJ, go ahead, pal.
Fred, I'm curious. You ever go do yoga on Shad Khan's yacht? I see him traveling around doing those things. I'm wondering, what's your relationship like with him, the owner?
Shad is amazing. Tony, his son, is a rock star, obviously. They got the AEW, and people thought Tony was crazy when he started it, but it's actually kicking ass, and they're doing a great job right there with the wrestling. Mr. Khan, man, just to come into Jacksonville and just have the balls to buy the team and say, look, I believe in this product, and I want to carry it forward. They've done so much, and they're partnering with the city, renovating the stadium, putting the pools in there, got the 2 biggest jumbotrons in the whole entire world, not just the NFL, but the world. So they made a big investment into the city. They got a lot of stuff going on there.
Fred?
A lot of
the world, yes. Fred? Is that real?
The world. Yeah.
I fucking love
that. You can ask Google, but Shad, he invested in the city. He invested in the product. They just got a brand new, I think it's $140 million practice facility, 120 or 140 mil practice facility there in Jacksonville, and it looks absolutely amazing. Make me wish I can come out of retirement, but those days are way past me. But yeah, no, just the commitment there. A lot of retail projects, the revitalization of downtown Jags, which is connected right there to the sporting venues where the stadium is. So he wanted to shake up Jacksonville, and I think he is. The one thing that's missing is a winning product. But I think they're slowly headed in that direction, like 2017, when they were cheated in New England. Miles Jack wasn't down, but I digress.
You guys took it.
Sorry.
It's crazy.
And then
it's
the team
crazy.
imploded.
So hopefully they can win.
Yep.
Hopefully the commitment and dedication that he's brought forward, he'll be rewarded with a championship someday.
Yeah, I appreciate him investing in everything. Hey, if you're going to be a fan of ours, I know it's not necessarily the easiest, but I want to showcase to you that I'm going to try to make it the best experience ever possible. That mascot, too. We talked. He needs to keep his cheeks in his pants.
Weapon.
But he's incredible at what he does. The show down there is awesome. I didn't know they had the biggest jumbotron in the world, Craig. In the world.
Yeah.
2 of them. You said 2 of them.
The biggest 2 times 2.
Is that including?
It was the Cowboys at one point, but Jacksonville, it stretches from sideline to sideline. It is like this.
Pictures of this?
Like,
What is it?
it's huge.
Go full screen on him. We didn't get it full because it was. Can you?
Yeah, it's. I don't know. I can't even stretch it out. It's that's
shit.
big. But yeah, it is
Whoa.
big as can be. Yeah, they're ridiculous.
So
And they're beautiful. They're not 420.
They're
like 8K or something.
So this is the Colts Jumbotron right here.
Yep.
It's in the top left corner of the stadium.
Yep.
I've been pitching hard for them to put. There's a spot. That's a big deal, Fred. At the games,
Yeah.
the Jumbotron is a massive ordeal. Like at Dallas, if you were playing there, everybody on earth is just watching that. That's literally.
But
what you're
that's the NFL. They
Holy
found their
shit.
niche. That's the business model.
What an undersell by Fred. Fred, you set your hands up in the air. I don't know if that's holy hell. What
That's
is
the end
this?
zone. And you have it times two. You have one by the pool and one on the other end down there. But that's the NFL.
It's
we're
not
in an
though.
age where
That's what I'm saying. It's not though.
well, other teams will incorporate that here at some point because they're selling $90 hot dogs and $1,000 beers, and people are watching the game on the board. They're not even looking at the field anymore.
I don't think the Bengals
You bring
do
them
that.
there, you entertain them, and you watch the screen like you're at a movie, like at a drive-through.
Yes.
Old school, new school, and you're watching the game up here on the board, not paying attention to the actual product on the field. You're here, but that's the business model.
And replays
score,
matter.
drink, eat, and replays do matter.
Replays really matter. Everybody, as soon as the play is done, is going right up to Jumbotron.
Feel like I'm at home.
Yeah, bingo. And it's like the Colts have pretty good Wi-Fi in the stadium, which
They
is a
do.
good
Sure.
play.
Yeah.
Good
Comfy
play.
seats.
The seats are a little
Super
bit too
comfy.
comfortable. People get a little too quiet, especially those 1 o'clock games, which is every week because we had a number 4 overall pick, which once again, Jonathan Taylor, I mean, come on. You know,
Well,
go ahead.
hey Pat, but back in your day, you guys were pumping noise.
Yeah.
I won't say that
That's
too
right.
loud. I heard you pumping noise into the stadium so they can't fall asleep.
Bingo.
I'm just saying.
Oh,
I'm just-
Fred, shut up. I don't need to hear that. You hear how loud I talk? That was me. That was me that they were saying was pumping in. No, that RCA Dome, I guess, before.
Yeah, they were.
It was like.
It was crazy.
They said it was bananas.
Yeah.
And then Freeney and Robert Mathis would be on the edge. And then they just got like the loudest noises of all. Yeah. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
They were so freaking good, man. And what's my guy, Bob Sanders?
Hell
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Dude, he's
Man.
still. I saw him. I forget
Man.
whose Ring of Honor
Tarek
induction.
Glenn?
Somebody had a Ring of Honor induction recently, and we were up in the suite or whatever bullshit. And it was before I got on the team, but a bunch of the people that I had met.
Tariq Glenn?
Yeah,
Was it Tariq?
I think it was Tarek's. It might have been Freeney's. I don't remember whose it was. But we were there, and Bob was there, and it was like, oh, shit, good to see Bob. Whenever I talked to Bob, you know, he's Erie, Pennsylvania guy, Western Pennsylvania guy, and I was with Bob for 2 years at the beginning. He was hurt for the 1 year for like 7 weeks, and then his first game back, I think he had like 2 picks, a forced fumble, and like a touchdown or something like that. And this dude had headphones on for the last 8 weeks, didn't talk to anybody.
Yeah.
And then he just shows up and just ruined everybody's life. So it was nice seeing him.
Yeah.
He is still like,
Probably Jock.
That's insane.
He
I
is-
picked him up. He was playing in a nickel slot, had a nickel blitz there at Fire Zone. I had to pick him up. Boom, my shoulder went out. I'm like, what the fuck? This guy is just one big muscle. Like, it's insane how explosive he was. And if he didn't get hurt, you know, if he didn't have the injuries, he should be or would have been mentioned in the same breath as Troy Polamalu. They were the same player. They were the exact same player. Troy was an absolute GOAT. He does what he does, but they tackled the same. They were as explosive. They had the same instincts. It's just Bob didn't play as long, which probably will affect whatever argument he has for the Hall of Fame. But he made that Colts defense go 5'7", but he played like he was 6'3", and I definitely respect that dude.
and he, Defensive Player of the Year, I think, when they won the Super Bowl.
Yep.
So like direct.
Mm-hmm.
The statue and the stadium, everything. The year he had his best year is when all this stuff probably came to be. I'm a massive fan. Wish I could have played alongside him longer. I'm happy you gave him some love there too, because he doesn't really tend to get any because of how quiet he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he's
Players respect players. Players respect players. Same thing with Nick Chubb. I heard you guys say earlier. I was kind of quiet. Same thing with Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb. He doesn't get the respect that he deserves. We all know he's a dog. He gets it done. Cleveland isn't the biggest market. They're not winning, as much as they probably could. And with that, he doesn't get the same highlight as a lot of these other running backs might get. I used to say back in the day, and this wasn't hating on anybody, but if you're in New York and you're playing, you have 700 yards, that's equivalent to 1,100 or 1,200 yards from Jacksonville.
Yeah.
You're going to get pushed up here. So he's not getting that love. And I understand it because he's quiet.
Yeah.
He doesn't do the extra marketing stuff. I told him he should take advantage of that when we visited Brown's camp yesterday and sat down with him. Like, go out there and take advantage. Let people see how articulate you are. You're a handsome dude. Like, take advantage of these opportunities and set yourself up for post-career. And even along with that, these people that are on the outside of Cleveland, let them see who you are. Well, he doesn't care about it. Hopefully he has a change of heart with that. But yeah, man, when you're quiet, when you don't say a lot, you don't get as much love as some of these guys that are just obnoxious and loud. They tell you to be a pro, but also they fall in love with the guys that are louder in front of the cameras. It's confusing as hell. I don't know, but it's stupid.
Yeah, we agree. We agree. We're part of the problem. We are certainly a part of the problem because we will celebrate anybody that talks shit. Yeah. Like, I love this guy. Those who go about their business, though, I feel like we show respect for, but not as much of a conversation piece.
Of course not.
And what you just said there about Jacksonville, New York, that's funny. Think about him in December or November when awards are being talked about, and some sorry-ass running back from New York. What's this guy got? Half the amount of yards I got?
Come on.
What the fuck? I don't know how many times that happened, but for you to come up to an equation, basically, 700 yards in New York is equal to 1,200. That means you've had a couple moments where you're like, these motherfuckers. Okay. That is...
Yeah, that's true. I have.
Yeah, we know. Yeah, that was pretty apparent.
And I won't say any names, but it's been a while. I've been retired now 12 years. So, yeah, those days are done, but I still got, my mind is still working okay.
Yeah.
CTE hasn't taken over yet.
Well, that's because you two haven't run into each other on this. Last question here for you from Boston Connor.
Yeah, Fred, just real quick, too, I'd like to, kind of bring you up to speed. The New England Patriots actually now have the largest jumbotron in the entire NFL.
No.
I'm sorry to break the news to you, pal. But yeah, Miles Jack was out of bounds, and the Patriots have the biggest board now. Sorry.
No. Hold on. Are you a Patriots fan?
Yes.
Yeah.
Where you get this information from?
I
know they just got they renovated the stuff, but
it's bigger by 10 feet.
They didn't even. Listen,
10 feet.
The Patriots.
Jaguars is 360. The Patriots is 370.
Suck it.
Yeah, we need a hey, but they cheated a lot back and they deflated balls.
Yeah.
I shouldn't be saying that. I played there. I shouldn't be talking crap. I played there. I love Bill. I love the organization, the craft. I had a great time in New England. But check this out. I had to pay for my jerseys on checkout. So their cheap asses ain't no way they got bigger screens than that. Ain't no way.
Yeah, it's true. And now they're making $55 million every single home game. So
sorry about it.
Maybe that's what they spent all that money on. Well, and thank you for providing some funds for the Jumbotron as well from yourself. But speaking of the pivot, and we all saw the recent episode of you guys, talking to Terry McLaurin. A lot of news this week out of Washington, and a lot of it has to do with the offense and Eric Bieniemy. And apparently, there are some veteran players going to Ron Rivera saying, "Hey, Eric Bieniemy was cussing at me, and he's way too mean to be coaching this offense." Did you get any of those vibes when you talked to Terry, maybe after the show or while you were watching practice?
So we talked to Terry and EB, before and after the show. Terry even said it. He loves the intensity. He loved that he has a coach who's, gone to several AFC championships, who's won multiple Super Bowl rings. He loves the fact that he comes in with a different intensity and trying to change the culture there. And it's easier for them to buy in because this guy, Eric Bieniemy, he's won. So I think the other players should just follow suit. I don't know how true those things are that came out of camp, but I did hear those same echoes. But you would think that if a team hadn't been successful or hadn't reached the goals that we all set out for at the beginning of the year, you just fall in line. Yeah. You get on the train, you say, look, we haven't won, So maybe we need a massive change here. And if that's his approach, that's his approach. You deal with it. You figure it out. Coach Coughlin, when I got to Jacksonville, we had 3 of days damn near. And we got out there and we won early. And nobody complained when you win. When you lose, everybody's miserable. So win a few games. I think they'll buy in. And they won't mind the way his approach is. I don't know. The media sometimes take storylines and run and go way left with them. And we are the media.
Yep.
But,
we're part
you know, those players, they just got to – it's camp. You know, these guys can't be coddled. EB is old school. You know, he ran the hell out of the ball at Colorado. You know, he's had success at Kansas City. So just fall in line, man, get the job done. And let him lead, you follow.
Fred, I think the cool conversation that kind of evolved from every person that's ever been in the NFL is like, oh, these dudes have no fear of losing their jobs. Right. People that are just going to the head coach like, oh, he's being mean to me. It's like back in the day, seemingly, like, all right, yeah, you want to hear mean? Yeah, you're off the fucking team.
Right.
How about that? Congratulations, you're a free agent. Like, I think that is the evolution of everything. Hopefully it'll work out for him because feels like there's a lot of positive energy around the Commanders right now. Mm-hmm. Now, we have no idea what the name's going to be going forward. New stadium, how's that going to be? But it's already off to a little bit of a rocky start here on the offense. But that's Commanders football, baby. Mm-hmm. That's just how it goes. Fred, we appreciate the hell out of you, brother. Continue to kill it,
all right, fellas. We're going to definitely keep grinding, man. Hey, salute you guys, man. If I can do anything, whatever we could do, you got it, brother. Much love to all y'all boys.
You're the man, ladies and gentlemen. Future Hall of Famer Fred Taylor.
Yeah!